Since the ancient pilgrims who used to cross the Cisa Pass along Via Francigena, Lunigianna has always been a land very attended and appreciated. Pilgrims came to Lunigianna covering the first and most important European road on their way to Rome and to the Holy Land. Along the route, they came to the Labyrinth, an allegory about the journey of life toward salvation. Nowadays, it is still possible to renew those ancient emotions with a vacation experienced as a slow and relaxing passage to Lunigianna, an ancient land willing to welcome the travelers of the third millennium. A passage watched over by the ancient guardians of this land, the Stele statues, anthropomorphic sculptures dated 2000 years before Christ and today placed in the Piagnaro Castle's museum in Pontremoli. In order to watch over the several routes passing through Lunigianna, tens of castles were built and enriched with walls, battlements, yards, and magnificent halls. Today it is possible to visit many of these, while some others offer accommodation and host cultural services such as museums. During the Middle Ages, placed at a regular distance and with both administrative and religious purposes, many churches and hospices were built. Today, along the valleys, it is still possible to see some of them and admire their very fine Romanesque architecture. The fascinating landscape of Lunigianna is also characterized by many historic towns where it is possible to live the atmosphere of the past. In Fivizzano, you can admire the beautiful fountain in the Piazza Medicea, or, while visiting one of its valuable palaces, you can learn that the small town claims the invention of the printing press, thus challenging Johann Gutenberg. In Pontremoli, it is possible to admire Baroque palaces and architecture and cross several medieval bridges. In the smaller valleys, there are hundreds of evocative villages and hamlets. Some of them are overhung by castles, some others are surrounded by walls and towers, and very often they are characterized by vaults and galleries. The villages of Lunigianna are an admirable example of the harmony between the stone of the buildings and the green of the countryside of the rural landscape, patiently shaped by man. Along with traditional hospitality given to pilgrims, this land offers today accommodation of all kinds, from the warmth of lodges and hostels often located in historic palaces to the service and the comfort of luxury hotels. It is also possible to find accommodation in many pleasant farmhouses, characterized by the quality of the services offered in a very true atmosphere. The farmhouses are located in the countryside, where the rural traditions are still alive in the daily work of farmers, shepherds, and craftsmen. One of the most ancient and characteristic traditions of this land is the cooking in the so-called testi. This particular kind of cooking gives food a unique taste and fragrance. The so-called testeroli, very similar to the non-yeast Sardinian and North African breads, the so-called torte d'erbi, and the meat of Zeri lamb.